Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you how I started this whole wedding planning journey, and I'm just going to show you my basic outline. This is what I first did when I started wedding planning. Is I want to get an idea of the main things that I had to get done, and also an idea of the timeline so I knew when to get things done, so I wasn't leaving things till too late. And I hope this acts as a really good guideline for other people planning their wedding. But just note, these are just my ideas and things that work for me. But without further ado, let's just get started. Okay, so the first thing I did was I created a title, and I titled it Wedding Checklist, and I made a little square on the side, and that's where I'm going to write my timeline later. But first, we're going to focus on making the list of things that have to be done, things that are going to be essential for the day of. So in my first little subcategory there, I have venues. So I need a venue to get ready in for myself for the bridal party. I also need a ceremony and reception space. For me, I actually am going to be using the same venue for both, but in case you have two, I wrote both there. And then you want a hotel for the night after if you're not planning on going straight home or going straight on your honeymoon. The next subsection is guest. So you need to make a guest list as well as make invites. And invites could be things like save the dates as well as your actual formal invitations as well. The next subcategory is going to be your vendors. So any people that you have to hire for the day of. Some of the basic ones that most people need are an officiant, a photographer, a caterer, a baker, a hair and makeup person, a DJ, and an MC. That could be the same person or it could be separate people. And transportation. Somebody who can drive you from point A to point B, back from point B to point A later on. And you can definitely add more vendors to this list. You might want a videographer. Your hair and makeup person might be two separate people and not just one person. Your DJ and MC might be two separate people instead of just one person. And you might just need some extra staff if your caterers do not provide extra staff, such as wait staff. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next category. Our next category is going to be our wedding attire. Also, if there are spelling mistakes, ignore them. This is my rough draft. I'm going to put it in my actual wedding book a little bit later on. But for wedding attire, you are going to be needing, of course, your wedding dress. You need the suit for your groom. You need bridesmaids' dresses, groomsmen's dresses. You also need accessories. When I'm talking about accessories, I mean everything but your wedding bands. So it could be earrings, it could be necklaces, things for your bridesmaids, maybe watches for the guys, just stuff like that. And then I'm going to make rings its own little separate check mark area because those are so important. And you really don't want to forget that. As well as your wedding party florals. So that could be like boutonnieres for the men and bouquets for yourself as well as your bridesmaids. You could definitely put boutonnieres and florals under your vendors or under your decor section, which we'll be making one later on, but just put it in the section that makes the most sense for you. The next category I have is decor. So I split it into ceremony decor as well as reception decor, but I am having it in the same place, so I'm sure I'm just going to use the same decor for both, maybe add some stuff for the reception. Here you can also write florist if you're planning on having one. Also, I would like to note, I am probably missing a few important things. I don't add party rental on here, which that was really important to add under vendors, but of course you can adjust these lists so it really works for you and the things you need. My next category was papers, which is just the wedding license. And now I can move on to my timeline. I am missing a few things there, but this is just a rough outline, so it's okay. So for the timeline, I actually found this great one on Pinterest. I can link it below for you. And it gives a great breakdown. So I'm going to basically make the chart in my book, and then I'm going to add a few things and take away a few things, depending on what works for me. So this timeline is going to break it down for you for 1 year, and it's going to do it about 2 months at a time. but of course you can find ones for 2 years. I gave myself a year and a half to plan, so I'm really just going to focus on the year because I'm getting near that year benchmark now. So 12 months before your wedding, you're going to want to book your venues as well as make a draft guest list. 10 months before your wedding, you're going to book your officiant, your vendors, and you're going to select your bridal party. That's both for your side and for your groom's. 8 months before, you're going to start to try on your wedding dress and pick one out, because it does take a long time for wedding dresses to be made and fitted properly. You're also going to order your cake, and then you're going to do some hair and makeup trials. 6 months before the wedding, you're going to send out your save the dates. I sent my save the dates out a lot earlier because I have a lot of people coming from out of province. You're also going to want to book your honeymoon, buy your wedding bands, and order your bridesmaids' dresses. 4 months before, you're going to want to order your groom's attire and your groom's men attire. You'll also want to confirm with your vendors at this point, and then finalize your hair and makeup and pick out what looks you want to do for the day of. 2 months before the wedding, you're going to mail your invites, purchase any accessories you need for you and the bridal party and your groom. You're going to confirm your transportation as well as write your vows. When you get into the 6-week period before your wedding, you're going to want to apply for your marriage license as well as finish any DIY prints or decor if you are planning on doing any DIYs for your wedding, which I am, so I want to add that to this list. And then 1 month before, you want to do all your parties. So your bridal party, your groom's party, what's that called? Bachelorette party. I honestly cannot remember what the guy's party is called. Stag party? You know what I mean. Any bridal showers and things like that. And then when you get to that 2-week mark, that's when you're going to go in for your final fitting for your dress. And you want to make sure you're starting to receive all of the wedding attire. You're also going to want to finalize your music with your DJ. Unless you're planning on doing your own music, then you just want to make sure you have your playlist ready and they're good to go. In that final week before the wedding, you are going to want to finalize your guest list as well as finalize your seating charts. So you have all of that good to go and everyone knows where they're going to be. And that's when you get to do all the finishing touches. So this is a good outline for me just to kind of keep myself on track. But of course you can make this more detailed. You can add things that you need. I know many different cultures do weddings differently, so you may need to add a whole lot more or take away a lot. I also realized at this point that I was missing the honeymoon on the checklist, so I'm going to actually add that in now. And as far as the honeymoon goes, you want to make subsections for planning it as well as for booking it. And of course, if you decide to go on your honeymoon right away, you do want to plan it a lot earlier. But if you do plan on taking some time between the wedding and the honeymoon to take some time just to be at home, to make sure everything gets cleaned up, all that jazz, then you'll have a lot more time to plan it and you can like push it off for a little bit. I did decide to color code certain sections of this to make it look a little more eye appealing and easier to read. When I transfer it to my good book, it's going to look much nicer than this, and I can write it in pen, not pencil. But I hope you guys liked this video of just how I started off the wedding planning stages. And let me know if you want to see more. Obviously I can't show everything, but I can definitely go more into depth into like how I like to plan in my book and how I go into further detail into certain subsections. If you guys do want to see that, comment below, because then it lets me know that you want to, and let me know what areas you want me to focus on too. Make sure to subscribe for new videos every Monday and Thursday. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. It lets me know that you want me to do more like this. And for those of you who asked to see some of the wedding planning process, I hope this satisfied you, and if not, let me know. And until next time, guys, bye!